Bible prophecy is active and unfolding daily. Zechariah 12, Isaiah 17, Psalm 83, Ezekiel 38. Here is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Shalom, my friends. Welcome to this week's newscast. From Reuters, the U.S.-led coalition is working with its Syrian militia allies to set up a new border force of 30,000 personnel to be deployed at border areas with Turkey and Iraq and controlled by the Syrian Democratic Forces. Turkey is very unhappy about the development. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? There's, new developments going on is what I wanted to point out. Now, you should all be getting notifications from YouTube today, my friends, telling you that I'll be presenting my live stream number 3 broadcast this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So, get ready for another exciting Q&A session. And please note that the best way to get your questions recognized is to post them right now in the comments section beneath today's newscast. In fact, if you have any questions at all, or if you even know of good questions, post them under today's newscast for me. The chat room is so busy during our broadcast that caregiver may not see your question at all. But if you post your question under today's news, you can be sure she'll have your question up front and ready, guaranteed for me to see. Also, next week, I'm probably not going to be doing a live stream because I'll be sleeping around 7 p.m. But that's okay. That's why I'm asking you to give me more questions, because I'll collect them and I'll do a little sit down and answer questions just, myself, and I'll post that next week on Thursday night around 7 p.m. But this coming Thursday, 7 p.m. is live stream, and I'll be looking forward to sitting down with you and answering your questions live. Now, also, those of you who signed up for notification emails from me by subscribing at watchallen.com, please know that that database is connected to Vimeo only, not to YouTube. So those emails have stopped and won't resume until I upload a new video to my Vimeo channel, which is not likely to happen anytime soon. All you need now, Chavarim, is to be subscribed to my YouTube channel and also to click the new bell icon they have going on. And now, I have a very special announcement to make regarding a soon-to-be-announced live stream event with a guest whose background is truly astounding. If you've never heard of Brad Scott, you're in for a real treat, my friends. I've learned a lot from Brad Scott. Number one, I've learned that he's Brad Scott and I'm not. He opened one of his shows one day with that, and I'll never forget. I just thought it was really really quirky kind of sense of humor. Brad used to be on network Christian television. I forget the network. I haven't had syndicated television in my house for, nearly a decade now. But years back, I caught Brad, and man, I became glued. Brad explains the Aramaic Hebrew as it was in the beginning. Kadam. Safa HaKodesh Kadam. I'll be talking to Brad this week and arranging for him to grace us with his presence on a live stream event. And I'll have links for you below where you can go to his website. There's another link for a website called yahtube.com. I have a link for you there that I urge you to go there and just watch every video that Brad has on that website. These are from the shows that I talked about years ago that just had me glued. Brad, he's a fantastic person, and I'm really looking forward to spending time with him and introducing him to you, my friends. Stay tuned. I'll be updating this next week's newscast. Turning to wars and rumors of wars, on Tuesday, January 9th, from Haaretz, Israel attacked an arms depot at a Syrian army military base near Damascus. Eyewitnesses reported loud explosions in Al-Qutafa, if I'm pronouncing that right, an eastern suburb of the Syrian capital, in an area where Scud missiles are stored. Then from the Jerusalem Post, Yossi Cohen, director of Israel's Mossad intelligence agency, warned that the Iranians are coasting into the Middle East undisturbed and with very large forces in a way that virtually creates an air and land corridor that pours fighters into the region in order to actualize the Iranian vision. The well-being of the entire world is threatened in the shadow of Iran's dramatically extremist ambitions. He also noted, saying, "Our cooperation with the U.S. is exceptionally good, and it is only getting better. The U.S., over the past year, has been changing its policies, and we are beginning to see dramatic changes in the American understanding of strategic threats. We're seeing a positive shift, one that could possibly take into account more of Israel's security interests." Quote, close quote. Then on Saturday, January 13th, from Haaretz, Israeli planes destroyed an attack tunnel along Israel's border with Gaza that also extended into Egyptian territory. The tunnel began in the Palestinian town of Rafah and reached 180 meters into Israeli territory. This is the fourth tunnel destroyed by Israel in recent months. Then from the Times of Israel, the Hamas attack tunnel destroyed by the IDF on Saturday was built for a planned attack on the border crossing where most of the humanitarian aid, food, and fuel enter Gaza. The tunnel ran underneath the Kerem Shalom Gaza crossing, as well as below major gas and diesel pipelines. An explosion beneath that area would have caused mass casualties among the hundreds of people who work there every day. Turning to our Intifada update, on Tuesday, January 9th, from Haaretz, 35-year-old Rabbi Raziel Shevach, an Israeli father of 6, was murdered Tuesday evening when his vehicle was targeted by gunmen in a passing car on Route 60, the main highway in the West Bank. Upon arriving at the scene, security forces found a wounded Israeli man inside a car whose windshield had been riddled with bullets. His wife said, "He called me and said, 'They have shot me. Order an ambulance.'" And turning to our review of last week's news, the U.S.-led coalition is working with its Syrian militia allies to set up a new border force of 30,000 personnel to be deployed at border areas with Turkey and Iraq, controlled by the Syrian Democratic Forces. Israel attacked an arms depot at a Syrian army military base near Damascus. The Iranians are coasting into the Middle East undisturbed and with very large forces in a way that virtually creates an air and land corridor that pours fighters into the region in order to actualize the Iranian vision. Israeli planes destroyed an attack tunnel along Israel's border with Gaza that also extended into Egyptian territory, and a 35-year-old Rabbi Raziel Shevach, an Israeli father of 6, was murdered Tuesday evening when his vehicle was targeted by gunmen in a passing car on Route 60, the main highway in the West Bank. And that, my friends, is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Abba willing, I'll see you here again next week. Until then, keep your wicks trimmed and keep your lamps ablaze. Shalom, my friends.
Crowded rooms, I need more space than I consume. Enough is time alone with you, underneath a naked moon, sharing confidential moods and making chatter. Mockingbird nocturnal sings notations of eternal things, entering the quantum breeze, flying not for want of wings. He lights his gaze on you and me, simply because we matter.